Hello again, Empathic Earth Angel. Welcome back to my channel. This is Everything is Spiritual because I believe everything is spiritual under the sun. As you see, we still got a couple of our Christmas things up, but not to get off subject. So today's video is actually going to be about the spiritual community, um, the woke. Everyone says the woke. Um, Yeah, I did introduce myself. I am Empathic Earth Angel. This channel is everything spiritual. This video today will be about basically who they call the woke, the spiritual, um, whatever, the 144, the people that are actually out here um, prophesizing, whether it be via YouTube, TikTok, the internet. This video is going to be why is there so much hate. I want to emphasize on why it is so much hate, and I have a couple of things I want to say, and I hope this reaches the most religious person on earth, um, and the president, because he recently said something in one of his speeches about woke people. And if you're a businessman first and you're a president looking to make America great again, for you to be worried about woke, there has to be a bigger reason why you don't want people on a conscious level where they're actually helping each other and benefiting from thinking higher and not so much lower, on a lower evil level. I mean that anyway. Like I said, the president, you know who he is. He basically spoke about the woke, and this is what triggered me to want to make a video, because whether you're in the tarot card community, whether you're a medium in the medium community, you wrote books, you actually help people, you have your own business, or you just help out people in your community, the psychic community, the gifted, other than anybody that's gifted spiritually, other than being behind a pulpit in a church. I want to speak on and emphasize on the hate, and I want to apologize, and I want to say, keep up the good work. I want to apologize for the religious people, and for especially the Christians and the Catholics that want to say that being spiritual means you don't believe in God. Being spiritual does not mean you do not believe in God. Being spiritual means that you understand that you don't call him Jesus Christ because out of respect for the knowledge that you have learned about them giving us false um, biblical information, where things were translated in the Bible and falsely rewrote so that we can have a different understanding. That is just a respectful way of saying, hey, I believe in God, which a lot of spiritual people do. They believe in God. They believe in the Most High. They believe that there is a higher power. We are just being cautious on not giving the Most High a name in which the devils on here on earth gave us. That's all. But you're so hung up on Jesus, Jesus, Jesus that, these Christians and people that are so religion forgot that Jesus is the Son of God, which, yes, he is a spirit that God had here on earth, which can be a prophet, which is which was part of him to help save. Jesus was a sacrifice for the Most High. God herself, she created her son. She gave her son down here to a woman here on earth which would had to be sacrificed. That was during that time Jesus was sacrificed, which means, yes, he was sacrificed on the cross, but when I mean that, it was for God to show us on earth his wonders through God, through, not God, through Jesus, which was his son. Now, if you look back in history, Jesus was called many different names. That story you can relate in different cultures. Even before the Bible was made, if you look on the Egyptian wall, there was a story of basically the god of the Egypt at that time. You know what they call Horus, get impregnated Isis with, you know, a spiritual child, a magnificent child through birth that was going to save um, and you know, save us and the human race at that time for whatever it is that we were going through. We needed to be saved just like we need to be saved now. So focusing so much on spiritual people not believing in the Most High God has really separated us from God herself as a whole. Like I said in my other videos, you do not need to worry so much about the name. But, and we don't, in the spiritual world, we don't too much worry about the name. We respect the presence, and we respect, and a lot of us in the spiritual world, we, you know, that's more evolved than me, we have a name, we know the name, and it's okay, but don't get hung up on the name. Just like it should be okay that the spiritual community does not recognize Jesus Christ as the Son of God. I believe that, yes, in time that God did have, because there's earth angels to this day, there's prophets to this day, there are people who were born for the reason to save the earth and help us evolve, which I believe is the 144,000. I believe there are 144,000 light being chosen angel star, chosen angel star seeds, earth angels that are here to help the earth evolve. I believe that's what the 144 are for. And whenever we, if whenever that times come where God herself feels as though she has to completely reset the earth herself, those 144 are automatically going to heaven. Those are the ones that are supposedly already have their place with God because they were sent here to help. I do not believe that that is all that can make it and evolve. I do not believe that. I believe that that is who definitely is going to transition with God herself when she does come back to reset the earth. I believe that they automatically go, but I don't believe that they are the only ones that are going, and that's why they were sent here to help us get to where they are. You understand what I'm saying? And that can come in the form of a tarot card, a medium, a psychic, a gifted person that is on the outside of church. Okay, so when you think about church, you have the first lady, the deacons, you have the choir director, you have all of those things set up in the choir to help keep the church and the community of the spiritual community. Yes, we do have tarot card readers, we do have mediums, people that can actually speak with certain, I don't want to say dead people, but they can speak to certain spirits. I believe mediums have the ability to speak with certain spirits, godly spirits, and even demons. And that's how they give messages to help people. Psychics, clairvoyant, the gifts literally from God, that we can, and being psychic isn't evil. And I'm sorry that you're in church, you sit in church, whatever type of religion you are, you sit there with your fellow beings, and all you can do is put your hope into the first lady, into the deacons and choir, and figure out, and the best thing you can do is get dressed for God. But you have people out here in the spiritual community that are doing more than getting dressed up for God. You got them every day doing 3 to 4, 5, 6 videos with headscarves on. You okay? With nappy here, but that they know that the main thing is to get the Most High Goddess message across and to save lives of the weak down here, the ones who never had a chance, whose parents might have been atheists, but God still wants them. God's still calling them to help their bloodline. You have people that are in the spiritual community that are actually saving lives, and Christians are supposed to walk by faith and are supposed to be basically, what would Jesus do mentality. Remember that WWJD, what would Jesus do? That was big in the late 90s, early 2000s. Y'all don't even have that mentality no more. What would Jesus do? Because Jesus would be out here saving lives, going to speak to these whores and these prostitutes and these drug dealers and these people out here that's cursing and doing drugs and trying to show them that there is a different way. But no, all y'all want to do is go to church and see who dresses the best. I grew up in church, so I know. I know. Like I said, I grew up in church. The first time I've ever even seen two people have sex was in church. I was 7 years old, and they were having sex downstairs in the church because the bathroom was downstairs. And I'm not trying to bash every last church and every religious person, but the arrogance, and you guys forgot what the purpose it is to be Christian. To be Christian is to walk in like God and to save others and bring him to Christ, right? To Jesus Christ. Because first of all, Jesus died on the cross so we can be forgiven. So the Christian and the Catholics and all of you guys know that God is a forgiving God. Because the main thing is the sacrifice when God died on the cross to save us, right? That's what y'all believe in. So why is it that you forgot that these people that's out here need God more than you? And because you know more about God, you're in a position to help. You don't think that? You think it's just let me go to church because I'm on a church committee and I got a daycare in the church's name, or I got whatever it is, my house in the church's name, and I can and yeah, basically a lot of you are just on the committee, the church's committee, on that insurance, that $100,000, that $1 million insurance that church can cover easily, nonprofit. Come on, let's talk about it. A lot of y'all just go to church because you're on the church committee. You put a lot of money in it and you're getting money back out of it. And you got some businesses that's under the church name. You don't even care about, you forgot the reason why you're supposed to be in church. Supposed to be you bring people to church just so you can say, yeah, I brought someone to church and yeah, see, I'm out here trying to save. And then you never see the person again with you because they sense that it was something in you. That sense that it was something in you, that you just brought them for you and that didn't bring them for them to get closer to the Most High. A lot of things that the Christians and the religious people do right now are for show. That's why you gotta look the best. That's why you got Kurt Franklin and all these celebrities that's out here can't even go to award shows without them with tight pants, twerking and shaking damn near on stage because they forgot it's all about show right now. It's all about the money. It's all about the insurance policy, the church committee. That's what it's about. And you have such a nasty arrogance about it when it comes to the spiritual community. That's the only thing that makes you feel like, well, good is for you to bash another way, another route that somebody is getting to the Most High God. because they didn't get to it by going to sit in your church or their church or that church. They're wrong. They got it by by listening to something spiritual and being awoken by something that a spiritual person said on YouTube, on TikTok, on the street, sitting at a park. Someone spiritual told them something that woke them up and got them to want to get closer to God. And what did you do to wake up anybody this year or last year or recently to get closer to the Most High God? What did you do? Just keep going to church? Bring 1 or 2 people to church last year and you never seen them again? You never reached back out to them to see if they wanted to come again? How was their experience? Did you pray for them? When you said what you need prayer for, did you continuously pray for that person every day and every night? Did you get up and pray for what that person went for that one Sunday with you? No, you forgot about it. It went over your head, over the church's roof, and it was never thought about again. But you got people that's faithfully in the spiritual community that get up every day. And let me tell you something. Stop giving the devil so much credit. Stop giving the devil so much credit. Y'all spiritual, Christian, religious people give the devil, oh, that's the devil, that's the devil, that's the devil, that's the devil. No, everything, that's God's first. Let me tell you, it's God's first. The devil don't own nothing. The devil don't own nothing. So when you start talking about tarot, it's divination, and it's this, and it's that, God may know that. The people that's using it may know that. Right? They may know that it has an evil route to it. But where your heart is, and if you use it for God, and if you know what you're doing, everything could be used for good and bad, and a lot of y'all know that. That's why your bad asses is sitting in church right now, trying to act like you good. So what did God do? He got tired of things that the devil claimed to be meant for evil. So he took what was meant for evil, just like the internet. And now we get to spread all his word and his love around. He took those tarot cards and started to give his messages to his people and some of the devil's people. That's what he did. And if you don't think that God herself is magnificent enough to take something and change it for the good, then you're limited yourself in what you think about my mother and my Most High God, the Creator. And that's on you to be limited, because you give the pastor behind that pulpit more respect and more, you'll give them more credit than you'll give God herself. So like I said, everything can be used for good and everything could be used for bad. It depends on that person. If you think that the devil is the only one that got some tricks up their sleeve, that these demons are the only ones that got tricks up their sleeves, God's people and angels have even bigger tricks. So if you mean to tell me that they can't take these tarot cards and give messages out to their people of light and darkness to change the world for the better, and you want to limit God, then that's what you go ahead and do. And give credit to wherever you want to give credit. But over here, we utilize what we need for our higher self, for good, and for God's will. That's what we do. So don't come to me and say, oh, it's so evil and it's so this, because you haven't even read your Bible. You're just repeating what's been being repeated for years. And you know 1 or 2 Bible scriptures, and you haven't even brought nobody to church and followed up with them. And last but not least, in church, they do have prophets in church. Prophets are the same as psychics and gifted people. They don't have to be behind the pulpit. They actually dedicate their life every day to walking on the street, walking to work, going back and forth to these different community centers, starting channels and YouTube and blogs and podcasts talking about the Most High God. And what do? You go to church one day a week. So don't judge these people. Don't judge them. They out here saving lives in a biblical way. Opening up people third eye. When I say third eye, here we go. For the religion people, I mean opening up their conscience to be on a bigger level. Saving lives and still creating miracles. So you can sit in church, but like I said, don't ever down a tarot card reader, a medium, a psychic, or a gifted person that's not behind that pulpit because you feel as though you're better than them. Don't you ever down them because they're out here doing more work for God than you ever have in the name of the Most High and who they believe, because they utilized it for good and not bad. But you stay in church and you stay ducking and you stay with your insurance up to par. That's what you do. And leave this community alone. Leave us alone.